there and welcome. My name is Karen Borchert and I am the CEO here at Alpaca. I am going to walk you through some of the new features in Alpaca Pulse today. I'm so glad you're here and excited to share with you some of the wonderful new things in the product. So away we go. The first thing is that we are so glad you're here because what we have learned so much is how important it is to listen to teachers. What we know is that people are more than 12 times more likely to recommend their employer if they feel like their feedback is being listened to and actioned, and that 77% of employees want to provide feedback more than once a year. That is so exciting for you because as you've chosen to use Alpaca Pulse, you're tapping into the exact thing that your employees and your teachers really want and need. So good job, and we're glad that you're here. Second is that we wanted to share with you a couple of insights that we learned from our very first year of collecting insights through Alpaca Pulse. So over the 24-25 school year, we collected more than 100,000 inputs from teachers about how they're feeling at work. So we wanted to show you the top 15 words. The first, first ones you'll of course, eyes are always drawn to the pink ones first. So you'll see words like drained and fatigued and stressed, and those are some of the words that you might kind of see in the news a little bit more often. But I want to draw your attention to some of the other words that you see that are really encouraging and really exciting to see. So we see some really amazing words like accepted and valued that indicate a strong sense of belonging. And we also see words like progressing and learning and motivated that show a strong sense of growth. And we're really excited to see that emerge in the data, and I'm excited to see what emerges in your data this year. What we found over the course of the last year is that the words that educators used, as well as their comments and the things that they were talking about, really fell into 10 themes. So you may remember that we have the 4 drivers that are really the 4 things that we know are important to workplace health and well-being, specifically for educators. And those are workplace health, team trust, personal growth, and leadership support. What we found is that what teachers talked about really fell into the 10 outer themes: safety and health, recognition and belonging, growth and impact, autonomy, voice, support, and purpose. So which ones did they talk about the most? They talked about the most health, belonging, growth, and support. So when teachers were talking about work, they talked about their health. At 24.2% of all of their feedback was about their health, 13.7% about their belonging, 12% about growth, and 10% about support. So if you're thinking about kind of where to start and how to support your educators this year, those are 4 really great places to start. From all that we learned last year, we took all of those things and really rebuilt and evolved the Alpaca framework to include not only those 4 drivers that you may have seen last year if you were with us, but also those 10 themes. And that's just going to give you more nuanced information about how your team is doing and more actionable information about what to do with that feedback. So with no further ado, I want to jump right over into the survey and show you what's new in the survey this year. So if you recall, your survey can be found right here at the top right edge of your dashboard where it says Share Survey. You're going to click Share Survey, and you will get that QR code or a link. You can do that either way. Last year we had a lot of success with our schools who grabbed that QR code, added it to a slide, and put that on the screen as teachers were coming into a monthly staff meeting. That's a great way to drive up participation and just a really wonderful way to kind of get feedback from everybody all at once. We also saw a lot of people use that link in a staff newsletter. So that's a really great way to do it too. So that's just a reminder of where that survey is. So hopping over to that survey, you'll remember that the survey is available and possible to do on either a laptop or desktop computer or on a mobile phone. And it is, as always, very, very fast and quick to do, but we have made some enhancements this year. So let's take a look at it. The first thing you'll see is the question about what is your role. So your teachers will choose a role that is most aligned with them. If you are a very small school, please let us know if you would like us to remove this question. Sometimes really small schools or teams don't want to have that because it can create make the survey more identifying. So if you'd like to have this question removed from your survey, please just let us know and we can help you with that. You're going to go on to your next question. And this is where you're going to see that classic how are you doing question. This year, we've added a little bit of wayfinding for you. So you can really kind of see here, you're going to see it going in this direction, words about your team, in this direction, words about support, in this direction, words about growth, and over here, words about health. So you can really see, words like refreshed and welcomed, excited. You can move this around and choose and look for some other words that might be appropriate. You can also search for a word. So this is going to show you what you've already selected. And then if you say, I'm also looking for the word joyful, you can click that. And if you're looking for a word and you don't find it in our system, you can also suggest and add your own word right there. And that'll add that as well. So we're gonna close that out and say, okay, those are all of the words that I want to choose today. As a reminder, you can choose as many words as you want. On the next question, you're going to see that we're going to do this a little bit of kind of confirmation and acknowledgement of how you're feeling. So those are those words, and you can say, actually, this isn't quite the word I was looking for. So you can X one out if you didn't want to do that, and then you can also share something about those words if you'd like. So if you'd like to elaborate on why you chose those words, we've added that little feature in this year as well. On the next question, you're going to see the question, which of these would help the most right now? What you'll see here are 6 options, but there are many more options than that in our bank. These 6 options are listed here based on the words that you chose in the previous question, which is kind of cool. So it's a dynamic question. If none of these feel like they're the right thing right now, you can click none of these, and it's going to give you some new ideas. So perhaps, some staff meeting shout outs would really feel good to your team, or some gratitude notes. So we'll click there. You can choose a few there if you want to as well. And then again, you're going to click next question. And this is a new question this year that was an idea from a lot of our principals. What should we celebrate right now? What's going well? So let's talk a little bit about that. This works exactly the same way. You can look for the things that you might want to celebrate, or if you don't see the thing that is quite the right thing, you can say something else. And you can say, okay, yeah, my peers celebrate each other, and that's going really well, and my students are gaining confidence. That's wonderful. So those are highlighted in green. You can see those kind of celebrations arise. And then, as always, we have that last question. Anything else you'd like to share? You can share a little win or an idea or a suggestion. And this is just that open-ended comment field. So you're going to click that. And that's it. That takes your team through the survey. And then now we can go over to the dashboard and see what all that looks like on the dashboard. So as you come over to the dashboard, just a reminder to log into your dashboard. You're just going to go to pulse.getalpaca.com, and then you're going to click for a link. It will send you a magic link to your email, and that'll allow you to log in for 30 days. So right off the bat, you can see some exciting things in the dashboard, and I'll just walk you through each one of them. So the first thing is you'll see your school name here, and you're going to see the time frame that you are looking at. Over here in this calendar filter, you can change this as you wish, either to this week, last week, this month, last month, etc., or you can create a custom time frame, and that allows you to see your data over any time frame that feels right to you. So if you do your surveys once a month, you can see this month or last month or the whole school year. If you do them every week, you can even look at the data just for a week. You'll also see the filter for staff role, so you can see that where you can choose if you want to unselect or select a different staff role, or just look at data for a specific group of staff, which can be really helpful in really understanding how to support them the best. So right off the bat, you're going to see something new called the Positivity Pulse. The Positivity Pulse is a measure of how much feedback in the surveys that you have for this time frame is positive. So that's going to show you your overall positivity in the building. Overall, you're going to see how that's changing over time. So you're going to see as the school months, kind of add up, you'll see how that's changing. You may see some dips in, November and February, as a lot of schools do. You'll also see this little yellow line that is the Alpaca average, and that's going to show you what we're seeing across the entire Alpaca network for the same time period. So over here, you'll see how many total survey responses you have, how many positive words, how many negative words, and then how many of those celebrations we have listed in it for this time period. And then right down below, you're going to see those same 10 themes that we talked about in that color wheel before. So support, voice, autonomy, impact, purpose, safety, health, recognition, belonging, and growth. And all of those together, you're going to see a positivity pulse for each one. So you can really see which areas are really positive and which ones might be trending a little bit less positive. You'll see not only the score there on the right in the pie chart, you'll also see with that arrow whether that is coming up or going down from the month previous. And that can be really helpful as well. I'll show you a little bit more about those themes in just a moment, but before I do, this is, as always, the how your team feels screen. This is going to give you that bubble chart of how many people are saying that word, as well as a little bit of a definition of that word, that in case you want to know, how we think about that word in an education setting. So again, each of these words are words contributed by real teachers. All of our definitions and work is built by educators as well. If you want to filter that further, you can say, let's take a look at all of our positive words, negative words. You can show all of your words, or you can just see those top words. And then as you continue to scroll on down, one of the things you'll see is which words are new for this time period, which words are on the rise, and which words we're seeing less of. We don't see any of in that category on this one because it was for the very beginning of the school year. So overall, you'll then see a few different things. You'll see what helps your team the most right now, and you'll also see those bright spots to celebrate. These can really give you a great indication of the things that you may be doing as a leader in your building that are going really well, or just things that are going really well among your staff, which is a great thing to celebrate, a great thing to talk about, and congratulate your team on the way that they're doing that. On the what help section, this is one of our favorite new features of the dashboard. You're going to see the top 5 things that your team has said would help the most, as well as you're going to see which theme each of those is in. And you're going to also see this little eye and this arrow. This eye and this arrow are going to give you a quick idea of a resource that can help you do exactly the thing that they are asking for. So in this case, this says quick update emails. And you're going to say, okay, yes, quick update emails, great. But how am I going to do that? So you'll click the arrow, and that's going to take you right over to this great resource called 7 Essential Tips for Weekly Staff Newsletter. It's going to give you some great ways to do those weekly staff email updates. And when you get to that, you're going to see this guide that's going to take you through exactly how to create a fantastic staff newsletter. It's also going to give you some tips for that. It's also going to give you some great examples. So as you're kind of going through and looking at some of this feedback and wondering, okay, these all look like great things. I would love to do all of these things, but how am I going to do it? This little set of resources is going to give you exactly the ways to do it, and some resources right off the bat. Finally, you're going to see here in the what your teachers are saying area, the different comments that they have. You're also going to see that those are coded now and analyzed. So you're going to see that they are going to show you whether that comment is positive, negative, or neutral. So we have lots of positive comments in this one. And then some gray, that's neutral. So you'll see if green, it's positive. If it's pink, it's negative. And then you're also going to see which of the areas of or themes that also belongs to. So this one is about belonging. This one is about growth. And you can kind of see a little bit exactly what we're talking about in those. So if you say, I really want to see whatever, really focus this quarter or this school year on the idea of growth, you can come back up to those themes at a glance, click on growth, And this is actually going to give you that filtered dashboard for exactly how people are doing in the area of growth. So you'll see that it says growth up here, and you'll see that you can either choose to continue to look at growth, or you can choose a different one overall. So that kind of gives you that capability. What you'll then see are all of the helps or supports that your team is looking for in the area of growth, and all of the ones that we see in all of the bright spots and things to celebrate in that area. You'll also see all comments that are focused on the idea of growth. And then you're going to see a question to ask your team and some ideas that you might try based on the exact words that your teachers are saying. All of this is to just here to give you just more actions to take and more ways to find that overall actionability for the words that your team is saying. So you can look at that. You can also filter this by time or by staff role. So if you said, I just, want to look at this just for our classroom teachers, you can do that and see exactly how your classroom teachers are feeling in the area of growth. So very, very flexible, a lot of fun to give that a try. Finally, I want to show you one last thing that is one of my favorite new things in the dashboard. If you go up to the very top, you'll see you're going to see this button that says try this. So you're going to click on try this. And for August of 2025, you're going to get some really helpful insights as well as some really clear actionability. So you're going to see the top themes that are the themes that we got the most responses on for this time period. So you see that belonging, support, and health are the very top themes that you see. You're also going to see your top words. So you're going to see the words that your educators use the most across the entire survey. So that's a really can be a really helpful thing as well. Further down, you're now going to see an entire list of things to get started with on resources to support your team. So you can see they're asking for quick update emails, fun notes from leaders, norm setting as a staff are their kind of top needs or requests. And you're going to find each of those resources ready to go right here. If you want to see more, if you're like, okay, great, show me more, you can see even more of what they're asking for and the resource that you might try. So here's what they're asking for. Here's what to try to do it. And then you're going to also see some conversation starters. So based on the words that your teachers said, you're going to find ideas for questions to ask, perhaps at a team meeting, like what makes you feel genuinely loved and cared for as a member of our team, or what helps you feel safe and protected in our school environment. Finally, you're going to get a few ideas to try, again, based on those exact words that your teachers are saying, so that you can really keep doubling down on all of that positive feedback and address some of the less positive feedback as well. So all together, that all comes together as part of Alpaca Pulse, and can be a really fun way to just kind of get in touch with and understand what's going on with your team, how to support them, and where you can celebrate, most importantly. That is the full overview of Alpaca Pulse for this quarter, or for this new school year. Thank you so much for joining us, and please always reach out with any questions that you might have. We are here to support you, and happy that you are here. Thank you so much.